Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Can you all hear my voice and my screen properly? Fast, a little bit faster. We have to get finished. Okay. So, in the majority poll, in the Telegram group, I saw that 0% voted with heredity and evolution. Guys, do you have doubt now also with this chapter? I think most of you are not clear with this chapter. Is it? Guys, tell me frankly, how many of you have understood the chapter till episode 5? Guys, I'm telling that you are feeling this chapter a bit difficult because this chapter is always a difficult chapter, because this is not going to go away from you. Even if you join for class 11, this chapter is there. For NEET also, very important chapter. Nearly 40% question comes from this unit, heredity and evolution, in NEET exam. And only 60% from the rest of the chapter. Rest, I think 32 chapters. From the rest 32 chapters, you expect only 60%, but 40% from this chapter. Guys, those who are having doubt, please do repeatedly watch the uploaded sessions in YouTube. Okay? Then this chapter will be thorough. The main problem is that if you don't understand, for example, if you don't understand the term, what do you mean by genotype, you are not going to understand all the rest of the classes. Because in all the classes, I will be using that term. That's the main disadvantage of this chapter. Moreover, if you're not understanding today's class, there is no need for you to enter the next class also. You're not going to understand at least one point. So this is a chapter. So since I found that, I have immediately created some slides in order to remind you about the previous classes. Okay, so we are starting the class, Genetics episode 6 for my dear NEET, not NEET, Biopoint Junior CBSE Board 2021. And today we started with 9th standard also. So again, I'm going to give a quick recap on what we have learned so far. Can we start the session? Everybody be active. I'm going to explain each and everything right from the beginning once again. If you have any doubt, comment me now itself. Okay, this all are very, very important. Some of the important terms. First is genetics. Genetics. Genetics is a study of inheritance, heredity, and variation of characters, or it can be the study of genes and chromosome. Clear with the first definition for genetics? Study of inheritance. Guys, after I finish each definition, you can comment clear. Okay, please don't unmute yourself. You can use the chat box. Okay? Because it will not be possible for me to ask every time, is it clear? So after I finish one definition, you can tell me that, sir, I'm clear about that point. So genetics is a study of inheritance, heredity, variation of characters, or simply you can study it is a study of genes and chromosome. Next, you have the term as inheritance. Inheritance is the transmission of character from parents to the progeny. What do you mean by progeny, guys? Comment fast, anybody. What is the other term for progeny? Yes, offspring, Abhijit, correct. Everybody offspring, not gamete, offspring. Okay, the future generation, the next generation. Okay, offspring. It is the basis of heredity. So sometimes a 1 mark question may come, name the basis of heredity. So the answer should be inheritance. Next is a question. Next term was a question for your first unit test paper. And most of you have written the correct answer for the question. So I hope this term may be clear. Variation can be defined as a difference between the parents and the offspring. Okay. Variation can be defined as a differences between the parents and the offspring. Yes. Next one is character. Character means a heritable feature among the parents and offspring. For example, eye color. You might resemble your parent in eye color. Your parents may be having what? Black eye, and you will also be having black eye. Some will be having gray eyes, some will have brown eyes. So eye color is an example of a character. All our body features are examples of character. And what do you mean by trait? Character means the feature that we inherit from the parents. For example, eye color, height of the person, etc. And trait means it is a variant of a character. That is, as we use the term allele for a gene, trait also describes the same thing. The two opposite things, that is brown eye for some person, blue eye, which all are the variants or varieties of that particular character. Clear, everybody? This particular slide. No doubt. Ankit, Abhijit, Sneha, Ayush. Okay. Okay, Saurabh. Next is, so these terms are very important. You can expect 1 or 2 questions for the next upcoming exam. I have reminded you in the group about the next upcoming exam on July 25. It is a 50 marks exam. A 50 marks exam. Okay? Yeah. Trait means the different varieties of a particular character. Suppose if you take the character as height. Suppose if you're taking the height of myself or height of a person, you're taking the character. Some are having 1 feet, some 2, some 3, 4.5, 5. Is it? Different persons have different height. If we tell in centimeters, 75, 78, 100, 175, 200, like that, height varies for each person. Is it? Clear, Ritik? Ritik, is it clear? Okay. So, next is alleles. Alleles, the other term for allele is allelomorph. It is the alternate form of a gene. Suppose taking capital T, then the allele for it will be small t. Okay, capital T represent offspring, means the further generation. If you consider if we tell your parent, suppose if you are taking one person and I am telling that you are the parent, so your child will represent your offspring. Our children represent our offspring, simply that. Kanishka, clear? Okay. So if we represent capital T as the dominant allele, then small t will be the recessive allele. Guys, please listen carefully, because during the cross, while we are doing the dihybrid and monohybrid cross, I will be telling only the term allele. Then you have to tell me, I will be asking you which are the allele for tallness. Then you have to give me dominant trait capital T, dwarf, it is small t. It will not be possible for me to explain each and everything again and again, which is dominant, which is recessive. Okay? So listen to the class properly. Capital T represents tallness and small t dwarf. They are the two alleles for a character, that is height. If we represent capital, guys, what can you tell about the alleles for seed color, Which are the two alleles for seed color selected by Mendel? Fast. Seed color. Yes, Ayush, capital Y, and another one? Not small g, Abhijit. Capital Y and small y. Yes, Ankit, exactly. Yellow and green. So, allele, is it clear, everybody? Is everybody clear with the allele? Okay. Next is two similar terms, that is homozygous and heterozygous. Homozygous and heterozygous. Homozygous means the condition in which chromosome pair carries similar alleles of a gene. If a particular chromosome carries the similar alleles, then you can call it to be homozygous. Exactly, Ankit. Capital T, small t, capital Y, small y. If both letters are same, you will be calling it as a homozygous. And if both letters are dissimilar or dissimilar alleles of a gene in a chromosome pair, you will be calling the condition as heterozygous. Guys, can you see the image on my screen? This image. Everybody, is it clear, everybody, this image? Okay, look at the first one, case homozygous condition. Suppose this is a chromosome. This blue color is a chromosome. Okay, and a particular allele is present. So, the allele present on both the chromosomes are same. Then you can call it as homozygous condition. Clear with the concept of homozygous condition? Or, so here it is capital letter, capital B. So both the traits are dominant. Okay, and look at the last third image. This is also small b. This is also small b. So the same segment of gene on both the chromosome, it also represent what? Homozygous condition. This is given here wrong. It is small b, small b. Okay. Clear with homozygous, everybody? Look at this second image. The first chromosome contains capital B. The first chromosome contains capital B and the second chromosome contains small b. Two different alleles on a particular chromosome. It is an example of heterozygous condition. Clear with this slide, everybody? Everybody? Okay. So in the last class, we were discussing this about the monohybrid, and before that I have to explain some more term. Okay. Dominant character. What do you mean by dominant character? Dominant character is the character which is expressed in heterozygous condition and it is denoted with the letter capital letter. Guys, if I am giving you a gene that contains or a chromosome that contains capital T, small t, what would you observe? Whether that person will be tall or dwarf. Whether the person would be tall or dwarf. Exactly, Ayush, it is tall. Even if one capital letter is present also, that gene dominates. Okay, that is meant here. The character which is expressed in heterozygous condition. Guys, this is an example for heterozygous condition. Capital T, small t, example of heterozygous condition. Yes. Okay, the only possibility for a person to get dwarf if the person contains the gene like this. If the chromosome contains small t, then only the person may get dwarf. Next is recessive character. The character which is suppressed in presence of a dominant gene, or in a heterozygous condition, the character which is suppressed is known as heterozygous condition. It indicated with a small letter. Clear with the terms homozygous, not homozygous, dominant character and recessive character, everybody? Anybody wanted me to repeat it? Okay, recessive character means, suppose if capital T small t is present, then because of the presence of the capital T or the dominant allele for tallness, this particular allele, that is this allele, becomes suppressed. Okay, that particular small t character will not be transferred from the parent to the offspring, or it will not be able to express itself. Clear, Abhijit? Okay, continuing. Next is phenotype. Phenotype means the physical expression of a character. What we observe. What we observe is the phenotype. Guys, what is the phenotype for the plant having the gene capital Y, capital Y? If Y represent yellow, what would be the phenotype of the plant that shows a gene capital Y, capital Y, if Y stands for yellow color? Yes, exactly, everybody. We would be able to see yellow color. We will be able to see yellow color. Guys, where are the others? I could see the comments of Ankit, Abhijit, Ayush, etc. Only such person. Ishika, Kanishka, Ritika, Saurabh, Ritik, everybody, where are they? Are you all here in the class? Ritika? Yes, everybody in the class. Okay. If you have any doubt, ask me. Okay, Kanishka? Okay. Genotype is the genetic constitution of an organism. Okay, genetic constitution of an organism. Suppose I'm asking you to write, guys, write the homozygous condition for a plant exhibiting green color. You can use symbol capital G. What are the possibilities for a plant to exhibit green color if green is the dominant? Yes, one possibility told by Abhijit, capital G, capital G. One more possibility for the plant to become green. Yes, Abhijit. Guys, understood others? Ankit, Arjun, Ishika. How these two possibilities come? Kanishka, Saurabh. Are you all here in the class? Okay. Next is hybrid. Hybrid means an individual which is produced by mating of genetically unlike parents. Suppose a particular parent is having capital T, and other parent is having small t, small t. One parent is ultimately tall and one parent is ultimately dwarf. So the parents which are genetically different, so the individual produced by mating of two such genetically unlike parent is known as hybrid. Can we move forward? These all things were discussed in the previous classes. Okay. So Gregor Mendel, father of genetics. So Mendel conducted some hybridization experiments on garden pea Pisum sativum for 7 years. Guys, yesterday when I was telling it, the class ended. Then a question was there in your first unit test paper. Name the plant that Mendel used for his experiments. And what is the answer for the question? Yes, garden pea. And in the previous class of the exam, I told you, if such a question comes for the exam, you have to write the scientific name. but this time I given marks for everybody. Did you remember? I told the rules also that you have to write the first letter of P, Pisum Sataivam, P capital and S small. Yes, some of you guys have wrote, but I have not deducted the marks, even though that was wrong. Why you know? While you are handwritten, while the scientific names are handwritten, that is Pisum Sataivam. This is, I have written by hand, is it? Then the important thing is that you have to separately underline the terms. Have I told you in the class? Have I told this particular rule in the class? But nobody have did it. But most of you have written the name Pisum Sataivam Garden P, but nobody have underlined it. And the other thing that most of you made mistake was that most of you didn't draw the spelling correctly. Being in the first time, I was not strict in the valuation, but the 50 marks upcoming exam, I'll be very strict in the valuation. I'll be deducting mark for spelling mistake also, because science, if one particular spelling is lost or one particular letter is lost from a spelling, your ultimate marks will be lost, especially 1 mark question. So please be careful about that. If it is an essay question, nobody is going to mind your paper, or nobody is going to check each spellings of each word. But while you're attempting 1 mark, you have to very thoroughly check your paper that have you written the spellings correctly. Okay, from the next exam, I'll check that. So Mendel conducted hybridization experiments on garden pea Pisum Sataivam for 7 years. How many years? 7 years. Yesterday we have discussed it. So selection of 2 pea plants with contrasting characters. Selection of 2 pea plants with contrasting characters. Emasculation. Guys, what is emasculation? What is emasculation? What is emasculation? It is the process of removal of anther or the male reproductive part from the plant in order to avoid the self-pollination. Okay guys, are you getting me? The chat box is remaining silent. Guys, are you getting me? Is my audio audible, everybody? Okay. Next is pollination. The pollen grain from a desired male parent is collected and is transferred into the female parent, and at last collection and germination of seeds to produce the offspring. Look at the image, everybody. The purple flower was the parent, but when you cross it with a white flower, even though the white flower involved in the cross, but all the offsprings formed are purple. We'll be telling the reason in the class. Okay, let me check what is next. Guys, do you need me to explain this slide once again about the dominant and recessive characters in a flower? Do you want me to explain it once again? Okay, no. Others? Guys, please take a snapshot of this particular slide and share it in group now itself. Somebody, fast. Okay, please do that for me. So this we are going to begin today also. Mono-hybrid cross. Can we start the class on mono-hybrid cross? Fast. Okay. So yesterday we have discussed. I just changed the slide. Was this the slide that I explained yesterday? Was this the slide that I shown yesterday? Guys, Was this the slide of monohybrid cross that I showed in the previous class? In the last class, I showed some other slide. Today, I have made it more simple. Okay. Monohybrid cross is a cross that involves two plants differing in one character pair. So we are taking two plants. Yes, exactly. Mono means single. It is a plant cross involving two plants differing in one character pair. For example, Mendel crossed tall and dwarf pea plant to study the inheritance of one gene. It is a gene for the plant height. Abhijit, getting my point? Abhijit? Arjun, getting my point? Are you here? Arjun? Okay. Monohybrid cross means the cross that involve two plants that differ in one particular character. Suppose we are taking one parent. Wait. Suppose if we are taking one parent has to be tall, the other parent will be automatically dwarf. That is involving two plants which differ in one character pair. We are talking about the inheritance of one gene, that is the monohybrid cross. Abhijit, clear? Okay, we have 10 minutes only remaining in the class. Okay. Guys, look at the slide. For example, tall dwarf, cross between a tall plant and a dwarf plant. Cross between a plant having yellow seed and green seed. We are going to do the cross now. Get ready with your textbook or notebook. Better notebook or a sheet of paper. Look, we are taking a homozygous tall plant. We are taking a homozygous tall plant. And it is crossed with a homozygous dwarf plant. Clear? About the parents, is it clear? Everybody fast. We have to finish monohybrid today. Only 9 minutes. Okay. So the parent is homozygous tall. Suppose I'm taking this parent has to be male. This parent has to be female. You can take it alternatively also. The first has female and the next one has male also. So the gamete obtained from the first one is capital T. Since it is a gamete, it is encircled. The gamete obtained from the second pair is small t. Clear with taking the gametes, everybody? You have to split the letters of the parent. Then you will be able to get the gamete. And you are crossing it. You will be getting the F1 generation as only tall plants. Look, the plant is tall. Look at the image. From image also you can identify. So we have taken the parent tall and dwarf. But the offspring that we obtain in the first familial generation or F1 generation is heterozygous tall. Guys, actually how many offsprings are formed in the F1 generation? Number of offspring formed in the F1 generation, anybody? Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? Everybody's answer 1. Anybody having another answer 2, 3, 4? Anybody? Okay, everybody going in unity. But the correct answer is 4. Do you want me to explain how it comes 4? Yesterday's class, I explained, right, that if you are taking a parent, capital T, crossed with a small t. Yesterday, know about how we are, what is the name that you given for this type of cross? You're doing in a box. I told 2 names for this. Anybody remembering? Tell me now. Guys, anybody know the name of this particular cross that we are doing inside the box? Yesterday I told the name. Not at all. Remembering, guys. Guys, it's not square. Name is Punnett square. Very important. Punnett square. Remembering now? Or checkerboard. Guys, comment fast. Are you remembering now? Yes. So the gamete obtained from the parent. How many gametes are obtained? Capital T from first parent, small t from second parent. And I told you yesterday that since we are obtaining the similar kind of gamete, from a parent, we are taking only one. And if you are doing the cross with the help of checkerboard, Abhijit, getting my point? Ayush, Ankit, Ishika, Kanshika, Saurabh, Ishika. Okay. So capital T into capital T, you will be getting, sorry, not capital T into small t, you will be getting capital T small t. Here capital T small t, and here also capital T small t. Remembering how 4 is the answer? Is the answer 1 or 4 now? Yes, 4. Okay, back to our slide. So the gametes heterozygous tall, and that is the F1 generation. Guys, read the question. In the F1 generation, if the question is asking you about the F1 generation, then the offspring will definitely show only the dominant character. Even if we are taking recessive character also, for F1 generation, the offspring formed will be showing only dominant character. That is a clue. Clear? You have to read the question whether it is asking F1 or F2. Can we move with the next part of F1? Please, only 3 minutes remaining. Kanshika. Okay. So we are going to self-pollinate the offspring that is obtained in the F1 generation. That is this the offspring that we obtain in the F1 generation? Everybody comment fast. Guys, is this the offspring that we obtain in the F1 generation? Capital T, small t. Or some other offspring you obtain in the F1 generation? Yes, capital T, small t only. 1 second. Okay. So you are taking a parent or the F1 generation, you obtain the plant or the generation as capital T, small t. Heterozygous tall. So now you are going to self-pollinate F1 plants. Self-pollinating F1 generation. That is capital T, small t crossed with the capital T, small t. Understood? Understood up to here? 2 minutes remaining for the class. Okay. Comment fast, guys, about the gamete that you obtain in both the cases. Fast. The gamete, yes. One would be capital T and other would be small t. Here also one would be capital T and other would be small t. And now you are going to do the cross for the F2 generation. Ready for the F2 generation, everybody in the checker box? Okay, suppose if the parent is, so this is a gamete. Okay, in the F1 generation we did the cross. Capital T, small t in the F1 generation. because the parents were capital T crossed with a small t. So don't consider it over here because the parents are capital T small t and capital T small t. So capital T small t, capital T small t. Can we start the cross? Everybody come in fast. Can we start the cross? Okay. So capital T crossed with the capital T. What would be the answer in the first box? Capital T. Yes, excellent Ankit. Capital T, capital T. Second box. Second box. This column, capital T with the small t. You have to write the dominant trait first, okay? Capital T, small t. This box, exactly Ishika, capital T, small t. And this final box, fast, less than 1 minute. Yes, small t, small t. So we'll continue next part of the class. In next class, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe our channel. Okay? So we are moving on to the new platform. We'll be telling about the informations in the Telegram group. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Timetable informed in the group tomorrow morning. Okay, see you.